Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Lolita's World. My name is Miggy, aka Lola, and this video is about why Uber Eats is canceled in my book. I have a piece of paper in my hand where I will be talking about everything that's on here, so if I keep looking down, please excuse that. So what I'm going to be talking about is my history with Uber Eats as a delivery person, why it's canceled in my book, and what will happen next. With today's little accident. So I was delivering some food to two different customers today in my vehicle and was not even able to drop off the second food delivery from the same restaurant. So a little bit of my background with Uber Eats. I was originally a cyclist with them a few years ago when they first came on the scene in New York City, around the time that Postmates started to get some traction in New York, and then Uber Eats tried to jump on the bandwagon as well. So I had my bicycle and I used to do deliveries for Uber Eats, and then one time I was making a delivery and this car hit me, hit my bicycle, and my bike's wheel got pretty bent up out of shape. I think this was in 2016 if I'm not mistaken, and I was not able to make the delivery. I did get a call from someone in Uber Eats head office in California asking if I was alright and more concerned that I wasn't gonna do a lawsuit or that I didn't need medical attention versus actually my safety and getting my bike repaired. So I did tell them, hey, I do need a new wheel on my bicycle. It's $125. I don't have it. And they basically dubbed it. They're like, well, that's not what they're concerned about, blah blah blah, all this stuff, basically telling me no, they're not gonna pay for it without directly saying no. So I dubbed that. Eventually I paid to get a new wheel on my bike, which was $125. Never got reimbursed by either Uber or the insurance company of the guy who hit me, and at the time I also didn't have money for to get a copy of the police report. So I wasn't even able to do that, to officially file my claim and everything. Luckily, I did not get hurt and I did not need to be seen by the ambulance, even though they did show up. And so that's a little bit of my history with delivering with Uber Eats, not necessarily driving with them, because I am also an Uber Eats driver. So why I am canceling Uber Eats and most likely never hopping on the app again. So today I was doing Lyft and I said, hey, let me try Uber Eats. I don't really want to be dealing directly with passengers in my car that much for the end of the night. And I had basically hit my limit or my goal for Lyft as to how much I wanted to make tonight. So I was like, hey, let me try my hand at Uber Eats in Boston. So I got two deliveries from the same restaurant on Commonwealth Avenue. It's an Indian restaurant inside of a marketplace. It takes me about 10-15 minutes to figure out where the restaurant actually is, because I was looking for the address and I couldn't find it. So I finally find the address. I pick up both bags. I do not actually deal with the people behind the counter. They're just sitting on the counter. So I grab both bags. I put them inside my car, the seal in the front, and then I proceed to the first place. I am headed there. I'm turning around the corner. It's already raining this evening, and my wheel gets punctured by something. I hit something, and then I'm hearing a hissing sound coming from my car, and I'm like, oh fuck, what is happening? And then immediately the light on my car goes off and it says the PSI of my wheel is 27, and I'm like, what the hell? Because I just raised the PSI on my car to 36. So for those of you who don't know, your wheel's pressure is measured in PSI. I do not know what PSI stands for, but my car does tell me what the PSI of each wheel is. And so the wheel on my car was running a little bit low on the front passenger side, but I was able to I manually added some air this morning to my car and got it all the way up to 35, which my car recommends for the front wheels to be usually a PSI of 36. So I got it up to 35, knowing that I'll probably go up a little bit higher while on the highway and doing, driving around the city. So, I turned a corner. I guess I hit something or whatever. Not too sure because it was dark outside. And so I immediately put my car in park. I keep the headlights on and I go around the corner, and Lord behold, there is a hole in my car, and I'm hearing like all this air literally coming out the car. The customer comes out and she's like, "Hi, you with Uber Eats?" And I'm like not paying attention to her because I'm more concerned about my wheel than the food that I'm supposed to be giving her that she paid for. And then she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry that happened to your car." She's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I said it pretty kind of annoyed. I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay. Like my car is just like, it's just like punctured." So I give her food and she says thank you, and I say, "Have a good night, enjoy your food." And then she apologizes again. I'm not sure what she's apologizing for because like she had nothing to do with it, even though like I was delivering the food to her, but she has nothing to do with the air coming out my wheel or me hitting something or something puncturing my wheel. Like she has nothing to do with that. So eventually I get back in the car, I call Uber to let them know that I can't make the second delivery and like what should I do next. And it takes me about 15 minutes of being on hold in order to finally be able to talk to a customer service agent of Uber for them to tell me that there's really nothing that they can do. Just like the original car accident when I was on the bicycle 2 years ago. And all he was concerned about was the food and that I wasn't going to be able to deliver the food to the second passenger. All the while, my car is literally losing so much air, and it's like going from 27, and in these 15 minutes it went down to 1. Like I was legit like around the corner from my house. I could have driven the car home instead of having to call the towing company. But I was like, oh, so like what do I do about this wheel? My car mechanic didn't offer me any options. They're not asking me about my safety, if I'm okay, or anything of that nature. So, and he did not provide any alternatives. Excuse me, my nose is a little itchy. So he did not provide me any alternatives. We kind of exchanged a few really bad words to each other. And eventually, either he hung up on me or I hung up on him. Then I end up calling my car insurance company to file a claim so I can get my car towed all the way to my house or to the mechanic. And that in itself is a doozy because I cannot find a 24-hour mechanic in Boston. Let alone Boston is not a 24-hour city like New York. And it seriously pissing me off. Like I need to leave that whole mentality of coming and having lived my entire life in a 24-hour city, because Boston is not New York City. But something is like not clicking in my head as far as this 24-hour convenience is concerned. So I'm going back and forth with my insurance company for my car to figure out what I'm gonna do and how I can't have my car parked on my block because I don't have a private driveway, and parking in Boston is like really difficult and all these things. So finally, the towing company comes and he's like really nice. I think they were the guys who originally towed my truck a few weeks ago. But that's another story for another day. Overall, the experience of getting the car towed this time wasn't too bad. He was really nice. I helped him drive the car up the ramp, and then we dropped it off at the mechanics, even though they're not open. He was able to talk to the gas attendant, the attendant at the gas station where the mechanic, where the mechanic is parked. So like that, I can leave my car there overnight and not necessarily be charged for it. And then I have to show up at the mechanics tomorrow morning at 7:30. So long story short, the holidays are at the end of the week. I have to find my way back to New Jersey to visit my family. Hopefully my car can get fixed tomorrow because I need my wheels in order to go home on Thursday and to do other things in the city in the week and to continue my side hustles because student loans are due in 2 weeks. And so is rent. And so are other bills. So some of the lessons that I learned in tonight, because there are always lessons to be learned. Emergency savings. I definitely need to redevelop my emergency savings, because this has taught me that I need a spare tire, with an S, some in the house and one in my vehicle. So if things like this happen, I can just get the wheel changed automatically and not having to wait for a mechanic to open at 8 in the morning or get my car towed or anything like that. Because this is all money that does not need to be spent. Spares are needed. I need to have at least 2 spares from now on. One in my house and one in my car, because you never know what can happen, and it's always better to be prepared. I also have to have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C at least. I know that I always need to do plans, but I don't necessarily do them. I always wait for things to happen, or how people say, for shit to hit the fan, before I realize that things need to get done. Knowing that these things need to get done prior to, because if I would have had a plan A, plan B, and a plan C, I would not be in this predicament right now. And the last one is trust my gut, because something told me, hey, go home early. I do not need to be on the road this late. I already hit my first goal of the night with Lyft. Why do I want to do Uber? So in saying all of that, this is the first major lesson of 27 and a half. Because my birthday was earlier this month, my half birthday at that. And adulting, it ain't that easy, but it doesn't have to be that dumb either. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you next time. Peace out.